Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Monday, June 26th, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Monday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice in the previous week here we had weakness almost from the beginning of the week right into the end of the week. A 4-day range here that was fairly bearish here. Pullback within the uptrending market here. We are now inside the bullish Pima trigger zone here for the ES. That tends to be a great spot for bulls to look to defend for a shot at returning price back toward previous highs and keeping price either within the range or perhaps even for a push to new highs. Now again, this is a very important spot right here, 43.80. That's the spot we talked about Friday as a key level here. On Friday we did get a low right into 43.81 half. Today we've pushed just beyond that a little bit to the downside, getting into 75.75, and that's going to be a key level there. Failure to hold that level could open up a fill of the gap below into about 4,300, where we could fill in some of this part of the profile here. But holding 43.80 and you're still back up within the range here and perhaps rotating back to the previous week's high for an outside week up. So how's it going to play out here to this week and today? We're going to continue to watch 43.80, the key level there. By holding above that level, we could begin to work our way back up toward the previous week's midpoint. If we take a look here at the NQ, one thing you'll notice about the NQ here, very narrow range here over the last 8 sessions. 8 completed sessions. Right here you'll see from here down to here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're now inside that range for a 9th developing day. And that tells us that we have a ton of potential energy here in this range. The last time we saw a narrow 8-day range was right here, and we saw the expansion that came here. So you had that narrow range leads to expansion shown here on the profile. If we do that again, that means we could see about 1,100 points of range up ahead. So again, 1,100 points of range potentially over the next 8 sessions if we get a breakout soon. So if we fail here, 15K, 1,100 points will start to put us back here into 14,000, 13.9. That's recent support. That's a big time move right there. Also, the uptrending market remains firmly intact. And so if we do get a downside failure here and that break fails to materialize, leaving behind a bullish tail, something like this for example, we may use that low 14.8 and turn this thing around about 1,000 points and be looking at 15.8 up ahead. So that's going to be one way to play that this thing could play out. 14.8 is going to be very important. Right now, 15K, the key level to watch on an intraday basis. If we take a look here at crude oil, right now down just a little bit here from a closing basis. For the most part in the range. 67's a big time area of support here. That level is held tremendously. We got to bounce off that zone on Friday. You see a tail being left behind Friday with a midpoint right here at 68.5. That's going to be the level to watch. If we fail to hold above 68.5 today, that could open up a break to the downside where we ultimately go take out the recent low of 64, but we could fall into the 50s down below where CVPOC is on a 5-year profile down below. So again, that could be ahead. If you look at some of the price action that we've had before, it's been similar price action where we fall and rally. This could be it again. We may fall and rally yet again within this downtrending channel. So again, this thing's building up quite a bit of energy here. We could see a tremendous breakout at some point here sooner than later, and a failure to hold above this midpoint on a daily closing basis over the next couple of days could be an indication that this thing falls. But holding 68.5 and we're still stuck in the range with the potential to rally back to 72 or perhaps even a bit higher. All right, let's take a look here at gold futures. Gold struggling around the 1940 level here. Tremendous failure here of 1940 before. The very next day, price rallied and was outside day up before finally falling back and becoming a failed new high. Right now we're right at 1940 yet again, and it continues to struggle in this area. This is a big time level here. By the time it's all said and done, this previous month here in May was a massive sell signal on the monthly chart, and so far this month the pullback into the pivot range has been offered, and we've gone to new lows. Inverted check mark, trend month down, and the idea was that after this strong bearish signal last month, we could see 1 to 3 months of weakness ahead. Month number 1 is almost in the books, and so far we've seen the type of weakness that we expected. The next month here could be another opportunity here where any bounce could be sold for a continuation down. 1940 is going to continue to be the big time level. Failure to hold 1940 overall starts to return you back down the range. 1800 to 1830 could be the target zone down below. If it can continue to hold that 1940 and staves off a failure here, then a bounce back to 2000 could be in play in the very near term. So 1940, the key level to watch here in gold. Lastly, taking a look at the Dow. The Dow futures here showing basically a fill of the gap here over the last couple of days. This gap right here, rollover, rally, big rejection here, and a pullback into the gap. Much deeper than any of the other markets. This thing's also increasing in volatility with this downward move. Now overall, this market has found a strong edge up here at the 34.5 level. It went beyond that level even, and then came back down. So to come back into the fill here and reject this level as we have, any pullback could still be an opportunity to see this thing return back to break even on the year, and maybe back toward recent lows. This thing has been squeezing on the lower end here, but for the most part, this is the previous year's close price, that blue dotted line here. Price hasn't gotten too far away from that level before it snaps back on both sides. We've gotten a little far away from it here. We may snap back, ultimately returning to 33,315 up ahead. So any pullbacks could be a selling opportunity until proven otherwise. So keeping an eye on the YM here with a potential to come back toward break even on the year. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the week. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.